Good evening. Welcome everyone to Tuesday ThetaTalks. Last week we weren't around as Marianne was a little bit under the weather, but today I know a lot of you showed up last week excited about our topic, which is on hormones. It's on healing hormones. Specifically, what we're going to explore today is PCOS. So PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. So we have invited an expert on this topic. Marianne is our student, and this is something that she's really connected with, and so has taken it on as part of her mission to be able to help people who do or have experienced this hormonal issue. So I'm very excited to have her on this week's episode. So you get a little bit of insight on how Theta Healing can help with not only issues pertaining to our belief systems and our thoughts, and this is specifically on hormones. So it's going to be a very, very exciting topic. So I'm going to check if Marianne is around. Okay, so she's still joining us. So this hormonal imbalance or PCOS is something that we have heard of quite a bit, especially in the recent years. And a lot of it is about how it's an accepted thing. That is there really an ability to shift or move out of having this issue? A lot of women just have to kind of deal with it, and I'm so glad that Theta Healing has been able to help in terms of bringing in some clarity, bringing in some insight, and also healing in terms of this area. So Marianne specifically took on this topic because she does and has gone through it herself. So she's speaking from experience, and she's healed herself from the experience. So she is talking and walking and working with this area because she is an expert in this, and this has now become her passion. I cannot see her yet. Let me see. Meanwhile, are there any other topics, or especially this topic in particular, is there something that you would like or have a question on, or are there other areas or topics specifically? Because this one is, we're being very targeted on this. Are there other areas which you feel that you want to explore? Please do type it in the chat box. Thank you for joining us this evening. Do you guys know anybody who is experiencing this at the moment, or maybe you yourself is going through this particular issue? Please do let us know. Maybe we can give you some insights. Okay, Ruth says that. Oh, there we go. Now I see her. Okay. Marianne, we can see you. So Ruth is raising her hand. So maybe she has experience or she knows somebody. And Evelyn says, yes, I have friends who have PCOS, but they aren't doing much about it. So I asked the audience a little bit about what they want to know. And,
Good morning.
diagnosed with PCOS in my early 20s, Ruth says. Lori's asking, oh, what is the energy block? She's excited. She's like, tell me everything already, right? So before we introduce our topic, um, I mean, I would like for you to introduce our topic a little bit more on PCOS, right? And what it actually is.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So PCOS is um, polycystic ovary syndrome. It's actually very common since, for example, in the Philippines, one in every 10 people or women in reproductive age, that's 15 to 49, has PCOS, whether they know it or not. That's based
Wow.
on global statistics. So, like, if you have no, I was looking through the statistics and like in the Philippines, it's 28 million. That's
28 million people have
women,
PCOS.
yes.
Wow.
Basically, PCOS is hormonal imbalance. It's a metabolic and an ovarian um, issue. It's a physical
Mm.
condition. And basically, when we have the cycle, we have our monthly cycle. It requires for different kinds of hormones. There's female hormones and male hormones. Those hormones are should be working in tandem or in harmony. So a certain hormone should be at a certain level at a certain time of the monthly period, but
Right.
in PCOS, it's not working that way. So
Oh,
the
wow.
ovulation doesn't happen,
So
and so
this
you have
is
no period.
what is the manifestation? Like, what do you feel if somebody does have PCOS, right? They would be diagnosed. Is there something that they would be feeling? Because you said not everybody knows that they're under that bracket, right? So can you tell us a little bit about what are people feeling when they have this?
The feeling, the emotions, not the symptoms, right?
You can both.
Okay. In physical symptoms,
Mm.
it starts with the very basic is a lot of hair fall
Okay.
because hair fall means higher androgens, and so
Mm.
like the person would mimic male pattern balding, like
Oh, that's
because of
interesting.
the high androgen, and then mood swings
Mm.
and also emotional instability. A lot of people said they have issues with productivity. They wanted to work, but they feel so tired.
Mm.
When it comes to the emotions, it's more of lack of support. Like
Right.
women with PCOS usually are very what do you call this? There's like a certain level overdrive, and we need to be working and making things, keeping things together without any support. So there's
So
also feeling
they
of
want to do these things on their own. They're very independent, is it?
yes, because one thing with PCOS is it's imbalance between the female and the male hormones.
Ah, oh,
And when we
interesting.
lost that
Okay.
balance, we
Mm.
tend to emit or manifest masculine energies. Just really working, keeping things together, and we lose our flow as women.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
That's I think that's very important to highlight. And Ria's asking, I thought I missed this last week, or so Marianne was under the weather last week, so we didn't have our session
Just
next
coughing.
last week. So you're very lucky, Ria. You are live with us. So please have your questions ready. So, what I want to just recap a little bit about what you were saying is that the hormonal imbalance with PCOS has to do with the imbalance in masculine and feminine energy. And so, because of that imbalance, a woman may feel the need to, or maybe carrying more like the masculine energy to want to take control, want to kind of take care of themselves and, need to be independent and doesn't want to accept support and just, kind of imbibe that energy. And you can see that you're saying in terms of emotional relations. So, Evelyn is validating this. She said, my PCOS friends are very independent, right? Hyper independent. So, some of the symptoms that you described is really very common, and it's not something that is easily identifiable, right? Per se. So, which is why, a lot of people probably don't even know or realize they have it,
True, true,
right?
that's true.
So, how do you end up healing or working on something that you don't even know that you have, right? So how are people actually diagnosed with this?
Um,
Do
what
you
I
go to a
noticed,
doctor or like how does it get diagnosed?
it gets diagnosed because, as you said, a lot of symptoms are associated with PCOS.
Mm,
It's difficult to diagnose it without going to a doctor. But when you go to the doctor, they will ask for some diagnostics. So basically, what they're looking at is the size of the ovaries. It should be,
mm,
if it's larger than 10 millimeter
yeah,
cube, I think, and then if there are, it used to be 12 follicles in each of the ovaries, but now I think it's 20 follicles in the ovaries, in each of the ovaries in order to call it PCOS. And then there's
right.
also a test to measure the level of androgen or testosterone.
Mm. Oh, that's very
Um,
interesting.
yeah.
And you are, I was talking to our audience a bit earlier, an expert in this field or this area, right? Because you've gone through this yourself. Is that right?
Yes, I was diagnosed at 25. But upon knowing the symptoms, in retrospect, I realized that it seems like I've had PCOS since I was 13 or 12
Wow.
because I had my period at 9.
Mm,
So when I was looking back at my experience and the known symptoms of PCOS, it's like I already have this at
right.
when I was
So it
teenager.
seemed very, you could actually trace back, further than when you were diagnosed. So how
Yes.
did it impact your life?
Okay. So after 25, I was given some pills. It didn't work out.
Okay, so
So
is this what type of pills were you
yeah,
given?
contraceptive
Okay, so
pills
that could help, is it? That's what the
because
doctors are.
yeah, because it could regulate the hormones. But
Mm-hmm.
then I had what do you call that? I would have hypertension. I gained weight. I would have headaches, so I have to stop it.
Right.
And I was also given metformin. That's for sugar.
Diabetes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't understand what it was for. So I thought after having like a 3 month um a 3 month period where I have to take metformin, I thought it's okay. So I stopped. Anyway, so basically because of the lack of information or the proper I don't know, maybe
Guidance, maybe. Yeah.
guidance
Mm,
and support, I wasn't able to manage my PCOS at 25. By 28, I was diagnosed with diabetes and
mm,
hypertension because
right.
of PCOS, because I wasn't
Because of
able
the
to,
hormones, it
yeah,
caused or it accelerated
insulin
those
resistance, yeah.
areas, right? You could
Um,
you repeat what you said again?
yeah, it's insulin resistance because I wasn't
Yeah.
able to manage it. And the thing with PCOS is if you don't manage it, it will really, in the long term, it will affect the cardiovascular. And yeah, conditions like diabetes is likely. So it happened to me. Anyway, I still didn't know what to do after that. And I think a few years after, my anxiety was like, I thought it's a different condition that I had to deal with. I didn't know it's connected to the
Because
hormonal
I mean,
imbalance.
it's like masking, right? You're like, okay, I had this. Now I have diabetes. Let's focus on the diabetes versus you don't
Mm,
really know what's underneath,
yeah, and
right?
now you're overwhelmed and you didn't really know
Yeah.
what to do. And that's very common with because like losing
Mm,
control of your life. Um, Yeah, that's one thing that also comes up with a lot of women with because it's lose of control, then defeat, and
mm,
now losing confidence in yourself and the future because you're sick.
yeah.
So after that, I think I started Theta Healing when like 4 years after that, but it's because of anxiety.
Mm,
And so I keep on healing, and most of my triggers are health conditions.
right. I
And after
remember.
that, of course you do. Maisha, I need your help. Anyway, When I'm pretty okay. I decided that I wanna help women, but not
Right.
I don't know how. But basically I wanted it to be something related to health.
Right.
And I joined Sanaya's coaching program,
Mm.
and we worked on a lot of lifestyle diseases, and I realized it was PCOS that really um reflects my self-love journey.
Mm.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. Okay.
because
So
yeah.
I'm going to rewind a little bit because
Uh,
there was just a lot there, right? So on this journey to you, you did heal your PCOS, right? And you worked on, is it the emotional? Did you like, how did you kind of manage to do that?
it's
I know it's been a
it's a
long
lot of
journey.
things.
I
Yeah, it's a
understand,
lot.
but a lot of things. But if you can kind of give audience a little bit of understanding that, because of this, it kind of went to here, which is why this
Yeah,
was created. Like anything that can give a little bit of insight.
it's more of the physical for me
Mm.
because I'm stubborn. So I didn't really pay much attention with the emotional. But when it starts showing out in the
Mm.
physical, that's when I'm gonna work on it. And then the thing with PCOS is the set of symptoms in every person is different.
Mm.
So there could be, for example, for me it's cardiovascular,
So it affected
insulin.
your cardiovascular system.
Yeah, so it's the hypertension.
Right, right, right.
So if you're going to look at the set of symptoms, you will know what's the story of that person.
Mm.
So for example, for me, it's diabetes, so
Mm.
not able to process sweetness, joy,
Mm.
feeling defeat. Um, there's the
So this is the association, right?
yeah, the
And
association.
each person on their PCOS journey may
It's
have
like a different
different
sets of symptoms.
symptoms, right? And as a result of these different symptoms, you work with them individually so that you can really get to the root of what it is, right? With
Yeah.
yours, you focused on the diabetes, which kind
So
of
it's
was
lack
related
of
to that sweetness. And then you said,
lack of
go ahead.
nurturing, mother
Nurturing.
issues, lack
Okay.
of self-love, self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
I have had clients whose problem is thyroid related,
Right.
but they also have PCOS, and when you like dig, it's about expression of the self, expression of the female qualities, um, basically expression. But it's also like the fear of being a woman, of showing
Mm.
herself as a
So these
woman.
are these are really, I mean, very strong emotions or strong feelings or that are attached to PCOS or PCOS, right? So um as a result of overcoming this, you were inspired to help other people on this journey. Now, can you give us a little bit of help in terms of how does one diagnose, or you know, uh, how would you kind of advise any of our audience to kind of know whether they're going through this or not?
For me, I don't think the diagnosis is important. As
Mm,
long as you feel these feelings or will work on it,
mm,
it's something that can be healed with theta healing. If it's a diagnosis, good. At least we can compare from the start and from the
yeah.
beginning if yeah, it worked. But basically, what someone can look into is where does the imbalance
Mm,
show in the life, or for
yeah.
example, where you have to take a lot of coffee in a day, or where you have to take more carbohydrates in a day, or more sugar.
What
Um,
time you mean?
yeah. And why do you need it?
Mm,
So that means that you're compensating for something. You're
right.
overdoing something somewhere in your
Mm,
life, and that's why you are compensating with extra carbs, extra sugar,
mm-hmm,
no movement. And I think that's the first thing that you have to look at and see. You can do some things that are practical,
mm-hmm,
like cutting off the excess. do
Good.
exercise, yeah,
So
sleep
these
more.
things will help, right? But I love what you said, you know. I mean, if it resonates with you, even though you have not been diagnosed, but these symptoms may seem like, oh, wait a minute, I have this, and this, right? You can just work on it to clear it anyways, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to kind of have this proper diagnosis for you to actually come to see a theta healer or a theta
Mm,
healing practitioner.
mm.
How many sessions do you usually see PCOS reverse in, like approximately?
Um, and so my program is 6 sessions, and that work, but I haven't really checked if it could work with less number of sessions.
Okay, so we're
But
looking at, a commitment of, let's say, at least six,
yeah,
right?
so the
And
6 sessions,
yeah.
usually first 2 sessions would be really the root cause, where it came
Mm,
from, was it genetic or past life? Then the other sessions would be about maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
mm,
And then the next 2 sessions for me, it's creating the life without PCOS. So
mm.
visualization, what do you want to do after a life where you're cleared with PCOS?
So, people or women who have PCOS, what are they not able to do, or how would they have to compromise in their lives? Like, is it
Not able to
affecting
do.
fertility? Like, how does it manifest?
I think they're not able to live the best life. For
Mm,
example, in career, if you're always feeling not productive, then how can you give your best effort in the job? Like also for women who wanted to be mothers, then fertility is an issue.
mm, mm, mm.
And a lot of women are affected by the hormonal imbalance in terms of the emotional
Right.
instability.
And it's
And
no
some
fun to be in that,
no,
that roller coaster back forth imbalance, right?
no. And sometimes they thought that it's part of their personality and that they cannot do anything about it. And
Mm.
that's really like a feeling of defeat.
And
So
I
yeah,
like how you said, the last two sessions is about what would it be like to live without it? Because, a lot of people have made their sickness or illness part of their identity, and it's part
true.
of who they are
Yeah.
already. So they can't see themselves without it. So
Mm,
when you also kind of bring them to forward into understanding that that's not who you are, that's not your identity, and who would you be without this?
mm.
It's a beautiful kind of culmination to the healing as well. So we have a few questions. Evelyn is asking, is there an umbrella issue for all women with PCOS?
Umbrella issue. I've summarized it into 6. So I have a let me plug
You're
plug that.
plugging something in now. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so this is in my e-magazine. I've identified the 6 umbrella issues that women usually have it because so the feeling of I am never enough. It's a constant proving and striving to get love. The feeling of I feel broken and incomplete. As a female, usually it's an issue with being a woman. If you have mother issues or issues with the women in your genetic line. Um, the third is I must stay silent to be safe. So this is an example of something related to the thyroid. I carry the weight to feel safe. So it's the obesity, the uncontrollable weight gain when a woman has PCOS. And I have to be masculine to survive, and I can't digest life. This is related to having insulin resistance, where your body could not digest sugar, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's also difficult to digest life. And like a lot of women with PCOS are very resistant to the flow. That's why also there's PMS or
Right.
dysmenorrhea.
And Ruth
So yeah.
says, others with PCOS also experience extreme period pain sometimes. So literally, you've touched on that. Now,
Mhm.
um, if somebody wants to understand the connection, like you have just put out there six, you know, different feelings and emotions or beliefs that an individual could potentially be carrying, which is PCOS related, right? So the goal in a theta healing session, or how theta healing comes in, is you're going to work on understanding if any of those resonate with you, that we're going to get to the root of the issue and heal it, so that you no longer need to be bound to those belief systems or carry that weight or that burden or carry that anymore, right? It's
Yes.
something that you can release and let go of. And it's not something that, oh, I'm born with it, I'm stuck with it, and that's it. It's something that you can really shift and change in
Yes.
your life.
And I know a lot of data healers have worked on their PCOS without really it's not a targeted
Mm. As a
healing, but
byproduct,
yeah,
right?
byproducts. And it's very
And
easy. Yeah, I've worked on people who have cleared, like who get tests where their ovaries are clear. And it's a beautiful feeling to really witness.
yeah.
Finally, I have a clear um ultrasound.
Yeah, and you
So
know
it's
what?
possible.
I've also worked with some clients, right, who it doesn't take long, right, to get there, and all they needed to was have a couple of sessions and know that it is possible.
Yes.
So those of you who resonate with this or have friends, I think a lot of people have friends of friends of friends or relatives or whoever it is. This is something that you can move through and move out, and you don't have to live with it. It is
Yes.
something that can be healed through Theta healing sessions. Marianne, like I mentioned, has healed herself from it, and she's an expert in this area. So if that resonates with you, you're well welcome to connect with her or myself to be able to work on these areas. And you do have more information about these six areas which you talked about on your website, right? So please do look her up,
Thank
so
you.
that
Thank you,
you
Maisha.
can find out more. And this has been very insightful. I really enjoyed learning more
Me
about this
too.
area. I know that, in hormones, it's a whole breadth of different manifestations or things that happen or show up. This is because, so I'm hoping to have you back so that you can give us a little bit more insight on different areas that can help us women. 28 million just in the Philippines is a big number. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Marian. Anna,
Welcome.
thank
Thank you
you.
for
Anna,
inviting
hi,
me.
Anna.
Hi,
It's
Anna.
very
Hi, everybody.
informative. Proud of you, Marian.
Thank
You have a lot of
you.
supporters here. Oh,
You
thank
see
you,
my post?
Anna. So, I would like to thank you, Marian, for joining us today,
Thank you
and
for
giving
inviting
us
me.
really very informative and insightful um, if there's any more questions, there we go. We have a request. Perimenopause next, please.
Okay. Maisha
So
can
there we
relate.
go. So there we go. Yes, that's like a very
Okay.
buzzword this day and age. You're right. We should
That's
definitely
next to because it's perimenopause.
talk about that,
Mhm.
So thank you all for joining us. I think we started a bit late, Marian, so I just realized maybe is there anything else you would like to share with any experiences with your clients, or any interesting facts that you want to talk a little bit about PCOS?
Okay. Um, just some statistics maybe.
Oh, that would be good.
Well, for me, the key takeaway for my PCOS journey is really loving myself. It's
Mm.
like nurturing myself, like the child, Marianne, who wasn't nurtured. I really nurtured her, like by knowing what she needs. When does she get tired? When does she feel happy? Things like that, and really giving it to her. Um, the realization is that I don't have to be sick in order for me to really take care of myself. I'm looking for my slides with the statistics. Okay,
No problem. So it was you're talking about, you're being seen and looking at yourself and seeing yourself and loving yourself.
yes. So, okay, here. 7 out of 10 women with PCOS will develop insulin resistance and
Mm.
increase the risk of diabetes. And then 4 out of 5 are obese. And once you're obese and you have PCOS, it's a cycle because PCOS won't let you lose weight. And
Mm.
it's a feeling of being trapped in that weight. And then 1 in 3 will experience infertility. And a lot of women actually feel grief and emotional strain and pressure for not being able to have
To
children.
produce, yeah, yeah.
Yes. A lot of women discover they have PCOS because of they can't get pregnant.
Child, right. So
So
that's a discover that's how people can usually find out, right?
yeah.
Or diagnose. So I
Mm.
mean, Marion, even like for example, somebody who gets or is very close to getting diabetes and maybe they're not eating that much sugar, right? Or maybe it's not in their genetics.
Yes.
It could be because of PCOS that is causing that to show up, right?
Yes, it could be. It could be PCOS, and therefore it can be reversed.
Yes. Awesome. So
Yeah.
thank you for those stats. I think, a lot of people is, with numbers and when you
Yeah.
realize these
It's
numbers,
frightening, but
yeah,
it's
real.
important to know.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
awesome. So thank you again, Marian, and I look forward to seeing everybody again next week. Sinai will be back next week. So
Uh,
we are going to be back to regular programming. But of course, it's nice to have cool partners like you that we can explore expertise in different topics. So again, perimenopause is something
perimenopause.
that we're gonna
Noted.
explore next. Awesome. All right, thank you again,
Okay.
Marian.
Bye.
Bye guys, thank you for joining us.